Okay, so this, I'm going to do some talking, show you some things. Not required to write this down. You can always go back to see if you're not sure. Okay, EQAO. Now you've done EQAO in grade 3 and grade 6, and you're doing it again for math only in grade 9. So this is directly a paragraph from EQAO, and what they say its purpose is to measure student achievement, which is you, in reading, writing, and for this year, mathematics, in relation to Ontario curriculum expectations. Okay, so it helps them to provide them with data to gauge the quality of our education system, and it provides evidence about learning that you've acquired, and acts as a catalyst for increasing the success of Ontario students. And what that means, catalyst, it means that if you don't do well, it means that they put other items into the system to help you increase your level of understanding. So that wouldn't happen with you, it would happen for other grades because you won't see this again. You'll have the literacy test to do, but not an actual EQAO as you did in 3, 6, and 9. Now, for you, EQAO represents a portion of your 30% of your mark. Okay, it is based solely on the grade 9 curriculum. There are two different tests, one for students doing applied math and one for doing academic math. Now, this is what the format will look like. It's going to require 2 math classes, only 2 math classes. And it doesn't mean you get the full math class to do it. You get 60 minutes. So if you're not done in 60 minutes, too bad, so sad. Okay? So that means that you're going to have to gauge the amount of time that you spend on questions. Okay? There's a test booklet for each one of those days. And within each one of those test booklets, they contain 7 multiple choice questions, then what they call 4 open response questions, and then another 7 multiple choice questions. So each booklet will have a total of 14 multiple choice questions. And these 4 open response questions, what that means is would be like test questions that I would give you where you show your work. Multiple choice questions, they're not interested in you showing your work. Am I? Yes, but they're not. Also, what happens with in the booklets, they have what they call field test questions, and they're just randomly embedded in each student booklet. I have no idea which questions are what they have field questions for EQAO purposes, obviously they know what those questions are and they don't include that in your mark, in your score from EQAO. I, however, do include it unless I come across a question in the test which I think is very unfair. Okay, and then I might not use it for your final mark. Now, about these field questions, what they use them for is to determine the most common answers that students make to a question. Okay, they're actually interested in your wrong answers there because obviously they already know the right answer. So why are they field testing them? They're seeing what is the most common answer students make. In other words, the most common error students make, so that those common errors become the choices for future multiple choice questions. Okay, it's very scientific how it's done. Okay, so when they put these questions in, they say, oh, 25% of the students are choosing this, coming up with this answer. Okay, so that's one of our multiple choice answers for this question. Okay, now, is that cheating on their part? No, but at the same time, don't think that it's just straightforward always. Now, multiple choice sections. Some students say, I love multiple choice because the answer's right there in front of me. You're right, so it is. But also, 3 of the most common errors students make are there as well. Okay? So, what we do with multiple choice questions, first of all, they are scientifically and mathematically created. If a question does not make sense to you, star it and return to it after. Okay. On average, that's average, you can only devote approximately 3 minutes per question. Okay, so that's 14 times 3, so you're looking, that's 52 minutes right there. Okay, which is, you got 60 minutes and you still have those open response questions. So when I say on average, some questions you're just going to look at them and the answer's right there. It's very straightforward. Other ones you have to actually do some calculations. That's why you don't stay in one question very long. If it doesn't make sense to you or it looks too complicated at that point, start, move on, and then go back to it after. Okay, it's important to answer all multiple choice questions, even if you have to guess, because you're going to be filling in a bubble sheet. Now, if you have to guess, or even if you don't, make sure you eliminate the answers that you know for sure are wrong. Okay, and that then increases your chance. So instead of having a 25% chance of guessing correctly, if you eliminate 2 questions, you have a 50-50 chance. Okay, and this is really important. Don't think that you can beat the system. I have students all the time say, multiple choice question, the answer's right there. I got it. Remember, this is scientifically and mathematically created on purpose. Okay, just a quick question here. Example, choose the correct answer to the following. Okay, and hopefully you have a calculator. If not, pause, figure out what the answer is. Now, obviously, I've created this question, so I know what the answer is. And the answer is this, -1. Now, if you got one of these other 2 answers, that's all right, because I know 2 where students make mistakes. If you chose this one, you probably just punched it into your calculator and you went like, I'm just going to bring up a calculator just to show you, and you probably went -5 plus 7 minus 9 divided by 3 plus 5 minus 1 equals. And you got 3. What's the problem? The calculator told me it was 3. You saw me enter it, but I'm telling you it's not. Okay, so how else could the person have gotten this in the -11/7? Now, to be honest, I can't remember how I did this one, but I think I went -5 and a -9. And then a +7 would give me what? Let's try that. -5 plus 7 minus 9. Oh, no, that's not how I did it. See, I just told you I even forgot myself. I maybe put these 2 together. So there's different combinations that students would do. Oh, that's what I did. I went -7 and I added -5 plus 7. And then instead of subtracting 9, I added 9. And I forgot that this answer here from adding these two together is 2. And I put 2 minus 9, I got -11, which is incorrect. And then I actually calculated this and divided, and so I ended up with a fraction. Okay, so they understand that students sometimes miscalculate adding and subtracting integers. So that's one way to do it, for them to choose an answer. Choice A, they know that sometimes students just plug it into their calculator and don't really understand what's going on mathematically. This question, the reason the answer is -1, it says everything on the top divided by everything on the bottom. Everything on the top divided by everything on the bottom. And so when I actually calculate everything on the top, okay, and if you want to bring up your calculator, go ahead, doesn't bother me. If I do everything on the top, I end up with -5 plus 7 minus, oops, not 35. I end up with -7 on the top. So really I'm doing -7 divided by everything on the bottom, which is a +7, and that's how the real answer is -1. So watch out for that. As I said, it's very scientific how we can choose how to do these. Okay, the next type of questions that we're concerned about or what they call short answers. In other words, open response questions. That's what they call it. I call them short answers or long answers. Okay, you never leave a question blank. Okay, you're saying, yeah, but I don't know what to put down. Well, you write down as much as you know. Okay, a few hints. If they give you a blank graph, chances are you should graph something. Okay, if they give you a scatter plot, like dots, probably need to draw a line of best fit. Okay, if they give you a graph and two equations, they probably want you not only to graph, but find the point of intersection. Okay, so if there's a blank graph there, the chances are they expect you to graph something. Okay, so that is just a rundown of the test itself. Now, what I have on the website are questions that are divided into different sections. So they consist of multiple choice questions, and they consist of these open response questions that they're talking about, divided into different sections. So when you are doing these questions, you should be doing them on your own without someone else helping you. Okay, because that's one way for you to determine whether you truly understand something. Also, when you're doing these questions, I want you to make a list, and this I will have on the bulletin board. So I want you to make a list of the skill they're testing you on. Okay, because that's important, okay, for you to know that. And that list might consist of, oh, okay, I need to use a formula for slope. So I better know the formula for slope. Oh, I need to determine first differences because they gave me a table of values, determine if something is linear or nonlinear. So those are the lists that you want to do as you're doing it, and then we'll transfer that to the bulletin board, and that way you can see what they're testing, what kind of things that you need. Now remember, most of the formulas they give you, they don't give you the linear formulas such as for slope. Also, these forms y equals mx plus b is not given to you. So there's, and our other one as well, they don't give that as well to you, where it's, remember, m and then it's x minus x1 plus y1. Okay, so if you come across someplace where you need that, then we need to make sure we put that on our list so that we all know what we need to do.